to my diamond painting work in progress, my WIP. This is the first one that I have done since Christmas weekend. It's been a while for me, at least. I try and do one every week since I started it, but I get kind of in a rut and I forget. So that's what I'm doing right now. But this is one that I got for Christmas as a gift. It's got 18 colors and I'm just getting ready now. So, oh jeez, I'm a mess. Okay. And just kind of, that's all messed up. Okay. I just completely messed that up. I'm so nervous. This is like I said, this is my first video. So, but I've got a couple of fun things that I got for Christmas that I've never used before in terms of doing diamond painting. That's what I'm really excited about right now. Usually when I do one of my paintings, I'm watching something on my TV. So this will be the first time that I'm just free spinning off of just ideas in my head. Oh my, something in my eye. Okay. So yeah, there are 18 colors. It looks like for this section are these pens here. And they are supposed to light up when you put batteries in them, which I thought was kind of cool. Because as you can kind of see, I've got my tray here. I've got that, and then I also got a light right here in the corner to kind of illuminate the situation a little bit better. But the tips are supposed to light up. I unfortunately do not have the batteries and battery sizes for these, so I'm just, I don't know, but they feel comfortable in my hands. They're a little bit thicker than the pens that come with the paintings, so I appreciate that. And I think I'm gonna go with this beautiful rose color here for today. And let's get started. So I did use these pens already. Over the Christmas time, and the one thing I don't like them in comparison to this one that I was using before is that I had it double-sided, so if I needed to like switch, I would just do that. But I can't do that with these, so what I ended up doing was just screwing the adapter pieces on it. But now I have to like consciously remember that I have to switch pens, so if you see me go like this, it's because I'm just forcing a habit. And let's get going here. As I said before, I usually watch a show while I'm doing these. Okay, I fixed it. I figured it out. I got them all set up here. Okay, now let's actually get going. So I don't actually fully know what to talk about during my videos here because I've never done this. So I guess I'll just talk a little bit about myself to start off. I am a wife and mother of 2 girls. I work full-time, and I started doing diamond painting as a way to help with my stress and my anxiety. So that is something that I do. I put that in the wrong space. Okay, here we go. I'm still kind of getting the hang of it, as you can see here. I've only been doing this for since about October is when I found my first diamond painting YouTube channel. And it was actually no, it wasn't a channel on YouTube. It was a TikTok. That's what it was. It came across my For You page and I was like, this looks like an interesting craft. So I went searching for how to find it. I found a couple of pieces on Amazon and I just ordered a couple. I started ordering them from Amazon rather than from, I know that there are tons of, well, not tons, but there's a few sites that you can actually order like pieces from, and I was very intrigued, but the ones I liked were ranging from like $40 to $50. And for me, because I'm one of those kind of people that jump into something sometimes without fully, especially like a hobby. I jump in wholeheartedly without knowing if I'm actually going to enjoy it. And I buy the best. So I was trying to work on that at the time. So I found out that they sold sets on Amazon for like $11, $12. I started there first. And I started with one and I did it and I enjoyed it. So I bought another one and another one. And so far I enjoy it. But now, because people saw and heard that I enjoyed it, they bought me a bunch of diamond paintings. So I have a bunch now. So I'm not going to buy any more unless I find something that I truly, truly love until I've worked down the ones I have. I think the last time I counted, I have like 9 or 10 that are unfinished. I have completed 4, I believe. 4? This will be my 5th one, yeah. And I truly I find such peace in doing it. And my husband always makes fun of me. He's like, I don't understand how you have anxiety, but you're able to sit down and put little diamond drills on a canvas. And they're not always precise. I think that's something I need to really work on, is that they're not always perfect and precise and in the location that they're supposed to be. So they always end up a little wonky. I usually have more than 4 colors out, which is really what's bothering me about this whole. I think I'm gonna pull out some extra trays. I apologize if there's any like background noise. I do have helicopters that fly over every once in a while for the hospital that's in my area. I guess my house is perfectly in the route for the hospital med flight. So that happens quite frequently. The reason why I mention this is because I don't know if you could hear it go by a little bit ago. So with that being a thing that occurs quite frequently, if you ever hear that in my filming, I'll try and edit it out as best as I could. So, but I was telling you how I started diamond painting recently. I'm a little all over the place in my mind. But I saw it and I thought to myself, I don't know why this would be something that would help my anxiety. Something so precise, just helping, putting my focus someplace else. I have been suffering from postpartum depression since the birth of my first child, and it feels more like it got compounded with the birth of my second. So I was really just looking for something that was my own. I don't have anything that was actually for me. Everything I did, and sometimes even still do, is for the children and my husband and the house and keeping everything, especially with the quarantine and pandemic and everything. It just became even more of a life isn't really for me to live, it's for me to take care of other people type situation. So this was my thing for me, for just me. So I have been thoroughly enjoying it, and I wanted to share my enjoyment with the world. So I created this channel. There are a couple of things on this channel. I also enjoy cleaning. So there's cleaning motivational videos on my channel. If that's something that you're ever interested in. I watched a lot of cleaning motivational videos to kind of help. One of the things that when I get really depressed, my house gets a mess. I'm not really, which is funny because I have depression and anxiety. So when my house gets messy when I'm depressed, but then I get anxious because my house is messy. So they kind of are always feuding with each other in aspect of my life. But I found motivational cleaning videos helpful in terms of getting the work done around my home. So now that I'm kind of starting to pull myself out of the rut, I wanted to share that with as many people as possible. I wanted to help others, I guess, to pass the torch along. Put out as much content that I enjoyed, and just in case somebody else enjoys it as well, they have more content to work from. And sometimes it's good to have content from somebody who maybe shares the same plight as you, so that you can know that they understand a little bit, I guess. But I'm getting a little sorry if this is triggering for some people. I fully apologize. So let's talk about a little bit more cheerier things. Maybe not cherry, but let's talk about the drama that's been happening in my life right now. We've had our basement flood a few times within the last month or so, since about Thanksgiving. We couldn't pinpoint what the issue was. Why was our basement flooding? What is going on down there? It was the worst mystery ever. We thought at first that like a pipe had burst. No, that's incorrect. At first we thought that it was our washing machine had broke, because the water was coming from under our washing machine area, and it was every time we ran water. So we thought at first that it was the washing machine. So we stopped running the washing machine. Then we noticed that water was still coming from the pipe near the washing machine, even though we weren't running it. So we're like, okay, crap. Is like something wrong with the pipe? We thought at first that for some reason that there was like backed up water in there. But now that I say it out loud, it sounds like a crazy theory. But we were just frustrated with the whole situation. So we bought a new washer, which was not a cheap expense because we are homeowners and everything is our responsibility. Now, which is the one thing I miss about renting is that it was not our responsibility if something were to break. That there was a whole person that we paid money to every month who, if they were a decent human being, oh shoot, would be the one who took care of that. Oh, I hate when I do that. I always just pick on, fortunately it's nothing sticky. Sometimes I accidentally will flip it onto a sticky section on a piece of the canvas. So back to the story. So we bought a new washer. Not only did we spend money we really didn't have during a pandemic, and then invited a bunch of people into our home during a pandemic to bring said washer into the house. It was a basement, so we just opened up the door and just let them come in, but still. Then we were like, oh, the washer's replaced. It's a brand new washer. Everything's good. We're golden. So we ran all the laundry that we couldn't do for the last week or so while we were waiting for the new washer to come. And we ran about 3 loads of wash. And that insanely flooded the basement. As you can imagine, 3 loads of wash would be a huge problem for flooding. And that's when we couldn't understand, well, where's the water coming from? Where the hell is the water? Excuse me. Where is this water coming from? And so we had someone come and do a pipe thing for us to see if there was a blockage in our drain, and there was nothing on our end. So that's when we came to the conclusion that it was the street. And they had been doing construction in front of our house they've been doing construction in front of our house for a while. But specifically in front of our home, they've been doing construction on our street for a while. But specifically in front of our home, off and on since about August. And I'm sorry, I'm just getting mad thinking about them in that construction. It has been insane. Insane. Oh my gosh, insane. For months. The construction workers would sit on our front steps to take their lunch breaks. Which to me, at first I was like, you know what? They're doing construction in front of our home. Who cares? Let them eat lunch in front of our home, on our steps. It's not like they have a lunch counter or a lunch room or a break room out there. So whatever, let them eat lunch on our steps. It wasn't until they were leaving their trash on my steps. And what annoyed me was the day that they left trash on our steps during trash day. Our trash barrels are right in front of our home. They're on the curb waiting for somebody to take them because the trash truck hadn't come down the street yet. So why did you leave your trash on my property, on my front steps, instead of walking back to where you are, because the trash stuff is on the end of the curb, you're working on the street, so you had to pass by my trash cans to get back to work. I was like, whew. So that's when I just was like, I'm not saying my rope about these people. And then they left. They're doing our sidewalk. So they're redoing the sidewalk, which is even more insane that they couldn't get to the trash cans because you're working on the sidewalk. The trash cans are on the sidewalk. Okay. Anyway, so they work on our sidewalk. They left a piece of curb. They had finished our section of the sidewalk maybe in September, end of September, early August. I had a piece of sidewalk curb sitting in my front lawn from the time that they drove off to do another part of the sidewalk in September to when I called their office and complained in the end of October. So about a month and a half, there was just a random sidewalk curb just sitting in my front lawn, just sitting there. So I called and I complained, and then when they finally moved the sidewalk curb, my husband was driving into the driveway, and one of the guys in the truck drove by, and he like waved to get my husband's attention. And he was like, basically like, we did it, like, look. And I'm just like, you did something you're supposed to do months ago? Why are we congratulating you for that? Okay. But then so because they were doing our sidewalk, they ended up having to do part of our driveway as well. And we got a letter one day in the beginning of September, like, hey, we're going to be doing your driveway. So you're going to be doing the sidewalk on your driveway. So for the next 2 days while the cement dries, please, you're going to have to not drive into your driveway. So fortunately, we were able to park across the street at the hospital across our way. So we parked at the hospital and we just walked over. Like, that's what we did every single time. We just parked at the hospital and walked over. And then which became an annoyance because I have children, I had groceries, I had for 2 days it wasn't a problem, but 2 days turned into almost a week. And what am I supposed to do with my life? I've got 2 small children. I can't just run them across a busy street and walk them over to a car. Or my other alternative was to park in front of my house in the street side, which I live on a busy street. So, and then try to load children in to a car on a busy street is annoying and frustrating. So I called and complained. Like, hey, not complained, but I didn't go full Karen on them, but say, hey, is there a status? Is there an update as to when? And they came and they did the sidewalk finally. But then came what they didn't do. It was a blunt edge sidewalk, so they didn't taper it off for a driveway. So driving into our home was like driving over a giant speed bump. And I was for sure, because I noticed after they did that my neighbors and the other businesses on the street all kind of had the same thing going on. So I was like, oh, they're probably going to come along and do everybody at the same time. Then I noticed that my neighbor next door got theirs done. I noticed the business down the street from me got theirs done. Everybody got theirs done but our house. I'm like, is this retaliation for me calling and complaining? So I called again. I was like, when are y'all going to finish this? It's a blunt edge. It's ruining the under my car. Because every time, because of how high it was, in our more SUV type vehicle, it wasn't a problem. But my sedan, I could hear it scrape every time that we would pull out. Unfortunately, because we weren't really going anywhere, we didn't need 2 cars to be in use. So we just drove the truck-like vehicle, the SUV type vehicle, around more frequently. But, oh my goodness, it was such an annoyance. It was such an annoyance. So finally, they fixed that. And then the pipe situation happened. And it was determined that, yes. So they came out, because we were like, it's you guys. It's coming from the street. So it had to be something that you guys did. So they came Christmas Eve. And they came out Christmas Eve and they did like a snake all the way down, all the way from our basement, access point to the sewer, all the way through. Turns out that the construction they did on our front of our house, when they replaced, I think they replaced the gas line pipe. I don't really know. They cracked a sewer pipe that was under the ground. So from what they're explaining is that the pipe that they replaced was only 4 feet down, but our sewer pipe was 9 feet down below it. So their assumption and their hypothesis is that when they were replacing it and they were compacting it and they were trying to put everything back together, they must have cracked the pipe. But they're saying that they didn't know that the pipe was there, that the town didn't tell them the pipe was there. But the fact still remains is that for a month and a half, I had essentially sewer water, because it would go out the sewer pipe and then it would rush back in. So I had water that touched sewage pipes rushing back in my home, touching all my stuff. I had baby furniture down there that I was planning on giving to my cousin who is having a baby. I had stuff that even I was planning on using for my girls, because my girls are 2 different ages. I have, hold on, I'm trying to see if this is yeah, okay. I'm getting so into my story and worked up that I can't even see straight right now because I'm so angry just recounting the story. So yeah, I had stuff down there that I was planning on using for my different girls. I have toys that I'm storing down there. My outdoor toys. My daughter's little red Corvette, Mercedes thing is down in the basement. Ruined. An electric car constantly being flooded by water because it was flooded. That basement flooded a good 10 times. It was flooding every time we ran water at one point, just every time. So they came out on Christmas Eve and they did the same thing and they determined that it was their bad. Oh, it's our bad. And then they were like, okay, well, we're gonna come out, we're gonna fix that. So Christmas morning, they said they were gonna come out the day after Christmas. I was like, okay, cool. So bad that y'all have to work the day after Christmas, but oh shoot, those are not 5s. Those are not 8s. Those are 5s. Darn it. Okay, I just used my handy dandy scraper tool to move those around a little bit. But so they came out Christmas Eve. They figured out that it was their fault and they want to come out the day after Christmas to figure out or to fix it. And I get a text message on Christmas Day, the evening on Christmas Day. And oh my gosh, I'm seeing red just thinking about it. So I get a letter a text message from them on Christmas Eve, evening, and around about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And they were like, hey, so we're not gonna be able to make it tomorrow, so we'll come in on Monday. I'm sorry, no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work for me. It's not gonna work for my household. It's not gonna work for nobody. So I'm just gonna follow what it says. And so I get that text message from them. I'm just like, no, this isn't gonna fly. This isn't gonna work. We're not gonna do this. Because Christmas morning, when I went down to the basement to get some of the gifts that I had forgotten, that was another thing. Thank goodness the water didn't reach where the Christmas gifts were. I kept the Christmas gifts up high. So thank goodness it did not hit the Christmas gifts. But Christmas would have been ruined because we store our Christmas gifts in the basement. Like anybody else who had a decent hiding space. and children who can't walk downstairs without you. So I get downstairs to get something I forgot down there on Christmas morning, and there's like brown sludge. Like before, it was just water that, like, it was soapy water, so it was clearly just like water that had gone out and just rushed back in. But still, it touched the sewer pipes. I mean, it was nasty, regardless. But this water was like brown this time, and I was livid. But I didn't really go crazy because I thought to myself, oh, they're gonna be here in the morning to the next morning to help out. I was like, so it's not a problem. So, the story is just every time. So I'm just like, okay, now there's brown sludge coming out of my basement. So somebody definitely needs to come because it's like definitely nasty now. And they were able to come out miraculously that day. And they started digging. So the day after, no, they were able to come out the day after Christmas on the 26th. And they started digging, and then the guy comes in, the guy running the foreman or whatever, running the show comes in, and he's just like, so we haven't actually reached the pipe yet. This had been an all-day thing. This had to be like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, it had to be around about 1 when they told us this. Hey, we've been digging since like 9 a.m. and we haven't actually hit the pipe. So we don't know when we're going to get to it because there's so much groundwater. I was just like, this is insane. So the guy was like, so we don't think you should run any water in your home at all. And I'm looking at him thinking, you hear the small children in the background, right? That's impossible. We can't not run water. And he's like, so we're prepared to put you up in a hotel for the next couple of nights while we work on this. I'm thinking to myself, no, not during a pandemic. First of all, I've got 2 toddlers. I've got a almost 3-year-old and an almost 2-year-old. They'll be 2 and 3 this spring. And they're rambunctious in our house, in our regular house, which we don't have a large home, but we definitely got a space where 2 toddlers can spread out, play with all their toys, walk around. Plus, where are we supposed to cook? You know what I mean? So that means we'd have to eat out. And I was just like, no, I can't not have a house. So, and I'm not staying in a hotel during a pandemic with 2 small children. Like, I don't know who was there before. I don't know what they had. I don't know how clean the hotels are. I don't know any of that. So I'm not doing that. So instead, I stayed at my mother-in-law's house. We drove to my mother-in-law's house and we stayed there. And I love my mother-in-law. She's the most amazing person. I hate my husband's bed because he still has his childhood bed set up, which is a full. So we have a king size bed in our bedroom, and it allows me the opportunity to stretch out, have space, not be on top of each other. A full size bed is the equivalent to a twin for us to share. We were just right up each other. I hit him in the face so many times in the middle of the night because I'm a tosser and a turner. So I hit him in the face. I hit myself in the face because his bedroom, like childhood bedroom, has like a slanted ceiling, and the bed is like right under the. I'm trying to like show you with my hands, like that makes sense. His bed's right under the slant. So in the middle of the night, if you're not careful and you sit up really fast, like I do, you will hit yourself on the face in the bed. So that is what happened. A lot. Just thinking about this insanity, it just makes me cringe. Then while we were there, because we got to our house maybe around like 3, 4 in the afternoon, the day after Christmas, and we set our like security alarms. And when we get there, we're having dinner, everything's hunky dory, and we get a call from my security company like, "Hey, your motion detectors have gone off." And I'm like, "My motion detectors have gone off." So now there was an animal that set them off. We had mice from the construction that came in our home. So now I have an exterminator issue where I have personally caught 4 mice. The exterminator has sealed up the holes. He came out, he did all that stuff, and he's supposed to come out again in a couple of weeks. It's been a nonstop saga for a really long time, it feels like, but it's only been a couple of weeks because it's Christmas was not that long ago. But I will say we have a very dry basement now. Well, not fully, like dry in the terms of it's not flooding anymore. But I have such PTSD from it that every time I run the washer, I go down and I check and I check and I double check to make sure that there isn't water just leaking from the basement, because that is my fear and the thing that I live in agony of all the time. That I'm gonna go down there and nothing will have changed. That all the water is just compounding in one location, waiting for me, waiting to get me. But so the flooding, the mice situation, it's just been nonstop. I've only done a very small section. I usually can kind of do more than this, but I keep getting distracted by my very ridiculous story. Here are the 4s. Okay, let me get these 4s in here. But that has been what I do for the last couple of weeks. And I'm tired. I am beyond tired. Just very, very tired. I kind of live in a state of tiredness, it feels like. It really does feel that I live in a state of tired. But that's one of the reasons why I firmly enjoy the dime painting. But when life gets crazy, I can't really get into it. I can't sit down and dedicate the time and the mindset that I need to it, because life around me is like breaking down. But it is something that helps me handle life's breakdowns. I should probably make more time for it, since it is what helps me cope. But I don't know what else to talk about while I finish this little section here. I guess I'll talk about my family. I have a husband. We have been together almost 9 years. It'll be 9 years in April. We've been married almost 5 years. So it's been an adventure. Marriage is hard. But he's my best friend. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't want to go through the struggles. Like, I think about the times like ex-boyfriends and people I dated. I don't think I could handle the struggles I have had between like 2 high-risk pregnancies, the postpartum depression, the house stuff. I can't think of anybody else that I've been with who would help me through it and be a partner, a real partner, the way he has and the way he is and will always be. Um, I love him more than anything in this world. Well, other than my kids. uh, but yes, I segue right into them. I have two daughters. They are, I know, oh my goodness. So they are 18 months and 20 something, 30 months. I don't know. One will be 3 in April and one will be 2 in May. They are not official Irish twins by definition because they are 13 months apart. I think, if I remember correctly, the official definition for Irish twins was like 11, like 9 to 11 months apart. But they are relatively close. My youngest was my surprise baby. I actually didn't think I could have children. And we tried for a little bit with my oldest, and we ended up pregnant. And it was a high-risk pregnancy. I ended up developing preeclampsia, and then I had some like, I don't even know how to describe it. They found these abnormalities in my blood work, and they couldn't figure out what was causing them. So I ended up seeing like a specialist about them. I saw so many specialists. They did so many tests, but they just couldn't figure out this abnormality. Why do I have these like elevated levels in my blood? They were a little piqued for concern because they weren't sure if it was something that could impact the baby or whatever. I had some other medical complications, and I had to be induced towards the end of my pregnancy because of the preeclampsia. So my beautiful daughter, my oldest, came 2 weeks early. So my daughter coming early, 2 weeks early, it's funny for two reasons. One, she actually now shares a birthday with one of her godmothers and my best friend from high school. When I was pregnant, my friend would lean into my stomach and told my daughter, "Do not come on my birthday." And my daughter said, "All right, I got you. I'm gonna come on your birthday." I heard you loud and clear. Oh, I didn't hear that. Don't come. I thought you said come on my birthday. But then also another reason that's funny is that my mother and my younger siblings and my family had planned a trip to Disney before they found out I was pregnant. But when they found out I was pregnant, it worked out perfectly because my due date was after they got back. And like weeks after, like, yeah, about 2-3 weeks after, yeah, because my daughter was about 2 or 3 weeks early. And my mother was convinced. She said, first pregnancies, they never come early. They never come on time. They're always late, always late. And I was like, okay, ma'am, always late. I was like, okay. And my daughter said, okay, grandma. I hear you. So, literally, my daughter was born on a Friday. Friday morning. I got admitted to the hospital Thursday afternoon, yes. So I got the call from my OB that, hey, like, you have high blood pressure, you have elevated protein in your urine. We want to bring you in for observation because these are all signs of preeclampsia. And I was like, okay, cool. So I come in for observation, and they're like, yeah, everything, like, we can't get anything to go down. Like, we think, and you're well within like the safety range, so we're just going to induce you. And I was like, okay. Like, we feel safer to just induce you, and it'll be safer for you and for baby. I was like, okay, cool. Let's do that. My family had left, literally got on the airplane Thursday morning. It was like my daughter said, oh, y'all are gone now. I can come. My mother she brings it up from time to time. Like, I don't think, but now that you know, now that my daughter is out, she's old enough, and she's more like interactive and talking more, because she's almost 3 now. I feel that she did do it on purpose. Now that I know my daughter's personality better, she definitely did it on purpose. And she did it despite grandma. She came early despite grandma, and she came on my best friend's birthday to spite her. I am 100% sure that, because my daughter has this firm, like, don't tell me I can't do something mindset. It's just her personality. So I'm pretty sure she heard, oh, you don't want me to do that, so I'm going to do that, definitely. And then my second daughter, will be 2 in May, she is my surprise baby. I was so tired from being a new mom, so exhausted from being a new mom, that I was not taking my birth control correctly. And that was a problem. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what color to do next based on what is open right now, what I actually have out. So I wasn't taking my birth control correctly, and because my OB told me that what I used to take prior to attempting to conceive my daughter were the patches, because I could slap that on my body and keep pushing. And I could think about it. I just had to remember to take it off at the end of the week or whatever. Out of sight, out of mind type of a situation. But my OB told me that I couldn't take the patches while breastfeeding. And I wanted to breastfeed, or wanted to try. My daughter said, no, I don't want that. So I was not actually able to breastfeed. She refused to latch. We saw so many lactation consultants. I cried in the hospital. When I tell you, I bawled like a baby because she wasn't latching and she wasn't feeding. I was convinced that it was me, that I was just a messed up mom. I was just the worst person on the planet. And why didn't my baby? Because when you watch the video or the movies and the TV shows about like women breastfeeding, they just plop the baby right on and everything's good. Everything's golden. Baby just suddenly is eating. That's a lie. That is a lie perpetuated by the Hollywood media. That is not factual information, and I feel that they owe us an apology. They owe every woman an apology, because that is a lie. The baby did not just get on there. Breastfeeding is not easy. It is hard. And I get so jealous of women who are like, I'm breastfeeding for my second year. I am so jealous of you. Because she refused to latch. Like I said, we saw so many lactation consultants, and I just felt like a failure as a parent, as a mom, as a woman. I felt like a failure. So what I did was, instead, so that she at least got breast milk, was I would pump for her. and I would sit on a pump. But here comes the fun part about pumping. You really can't do anything else while you're pumping. So on my maternity leave, which was about 6 weeks my first time, I used my 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 leave time. I would just, anytime the baby was napping, I would power pump, 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 pump. If she was just sitting staring at me, pump, 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 pump. And I did that like a lot. But then when I had to go back to work, I couldn't pump as often as I was. So I had she had breast milk for the first 3 months of her life, which I feel, I pat myself on the back. It was an achievement from the nothing that she could have had. And I know. And so she was a formula baby. Actually what we did was mixed. So that's how I was able to stretch my supply out for 3 months, is that I would do half formula, half breast milk. And she's healthy and content. So I think it's good. We're good. We're golden. That's all I care about, is that she's healthy and she's happy and she's fed. That it was really like, but the mom judgment, oh my goodness. I went to like a little like mommy and me thing, and the eyes, the death glares I received. I pulled out a formula bottle. Oh, you don't breastfeed? No, I do. I just, because I'm kind of a jerk on occasions, especially I'm a jerk to people who are bullying. I always give sob stories because you never know what anyone's situation is. So to judge is completely just a crazy thing to do. But I just looked at them and I was just like, I can't produce milk. I'm not producing the milk to feed my child. And I would rather her eat than starve. Would you want her to starve? And everybody shut up at that point. Oh, you have nothing to say now. Oh, okay. Thanks for playing. Please come again the next time you want to be served a plate of in your face. But you never know anyone's situation, so don't be a mom judge. Like just don't. So with my second baby though, I got a longer leave because I had officially been with the company for a full year. So I got the standard medical leave as well as the added on parental leave. So I was actually able to be out for 3 months. And again, she lasted from the beginning, and it was fine. And then it was like she heard from her big sister, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Let's just let's just make her feel like crap. Let's make mommy feel like we hate her. And that's what I feel my children did in a joking manner. I'm going to full on say that I am joking. I do not 100% believe that my children did that to me. It's just for comics, for comedy. But I was able to really get a good supply. I mean, we had so much milk from me pumping the second time around that we actually had to buy a deep freezer. Oh, I was so excited. I had never been so excited for something in my life as much as I was that I actually was able to produce milk, a lot of milk, and really actually create a stockpile. Because I feel like most moms' dream is to have a stockpile. So I actually had a stockpile, and it was beautiful. And then the stockpile went away because I had to go back to work, and I wasn't able to sit and pump for every hour on the hour like I was doing when I was on leave. So that going back to work thing really just messes you up. I really wish we had lived in a country that gave people real leave, mandated leave, because it's crazy the idea that I know some people who work retail or work restaurant jobs and they have their baby and they're told to come back to work like a week later. There's no way your body is ready to go back to work. No way, you gotta be insane. That's crazy. Why would anyone think that that's okay? Why has our country not for full I live in the U.S. For anyone who's a little confused, who maybe not from the U.S. who is watching this video, absolutely crazy to me. Crazy, absolutely insane to me that we have not got on board with that mandated leave thing. Crazy. It's just more time to bond with our babies. More time to bond with our babies. There also should be mandated vacations because people just need more time away from their life, their work life. Oh my gosh, work. I feel like that's the American dream has changed from like whatever to being just work to death. Work until you die. That's the only thing we do is just work until we die. But I digress. Back to my beautiful, wonderful children. And I had, with my second child, which was also a high-risk pregnancy, I had gestational diabetes that developed, and now I have to be monitored for diabetes every year because I could get it for real. Now, but I had put on so much weight with my first pregnancy, and then I was working out to try and get that weight off, and I just couldn't. And the reason why I couldn't is because my daughter's sibling was chugging along into the train, and so then I put on a bunch of weight with my second pregnancy, and before I was pregnant, I weighed a good 165, 170 if I was a little bloated. Or if I hadn't worked out in a bit. So yeah, when I weighed in on my first visit with my first daughter, I was 169. The last time I looked at a scale, which I don't try to do often, and I don't recommend it to anybody, I was at 210, which isn't crazy. I know people who weigh more than I do, and which weight isn't a problem. And my weight isn't a problem. I don't feel healthy anymore. And it's not even that because of the weight, I don't feel that I'm not eating the way I was before. I'm eating kind of more junky foods. My children eat very well. Vegetables, I try to give them vegetables. When toddlers want to eat them, it's a different story. But I take care of my children better than I take care of myself. And I'm trying to work on that because, I'll feed them dinner. I'll get them ready for dinner. And then I'm just too tired. So I'll, eat a snack. And then I'll go to bed. You would think with the amount of not eating I do, I would weigh less. But that is an anomaly I can't figure out. Maybe, you know what it is? It's the fact that by the time I really do get down to eating, what I eat isn't good for me. So my body is just like, what excuse me, what is this? What is this you're putting into us? Please get us real food. Something that is real. And, sorry, I'm just lamenting on my body, but I just don't feel healthy. That's really what it is. It's nothing really to do with how much I weigh, what's on the scale. I just don't feel healthy. So I'm probably going to do a little bit of light workout. I may add that onto my channel. Maybe a little journey. I'm just looking to have a healthier lifestyle. Maybe some better eating, which eating well wasn't as expensive. That is an anomaly to me as well. Why do salads that don't fill you up as well cost me $15, but the burger costs $8? I don't understand that, and I feel fuller with the burger. I don't feel like I need to eat more when I'm eating a burger. Or greasy fries or whatever. I don't, it's an anomaly. I'm trying. Somebody explain that to me. And there, well, maybe I'll put that like little weight loss journey. What I do want to do when it's warmer, because I live in a climate where right now it's cold. When it does get warmer, I kind of want to do roller skating. I got roller skates for Christmas, so I just need knee pads and I need a helmet. And I love roller skating. I love roller skating. I used to love going to the roller rinks as a kid. It was always my favorite. So I'm genuinely just excited by the idea of roller skating. We have a bike trail in our area. So I'm definitely going to do that. My husband got a bike for Christmas. So this is going to be a great spring, I feel, for us. It's going to be a good spring. Especially with everybody's like birthdays being in the, well, my birthday is in the winter. My birthday is actually coming up soon. Within the next couple of weeks. So I'm almost done with this little corner. I can't believe I've only done this little corner. You know what it is? I'm doing one at a time. I usually pull out one of these and do like multiple rows. But I was trying to, I guess, add more content, and have some more stuff to. Plus, I'm distracted by drawing. By talking. I'm distracted by talking. I want to get, what is a J? 15. I will do this to fill in the holes because I don't like holes. Like I'm gonna do this row right here because I usually try and leave a square at the most. To do a square or a rectangle or something so that I have a stopping and starting point. Almost 7 a.m. actually. My kids aren't woken up yet, which is why I'm trying to also rush and finish up this little section because I'm gonna have to put all this stuff away because I'm actually hungered into my living room, which is where I do my diamond painting right now, which is kind of annoying because I do have to pack up every single time and put stuff away. But my office is a disaster, an absolute disaster. My husband's been working from home and he's in the office, and I'm working from home, but I'm downstairs with the kids because they always need someone to watch them. They can't just watch themselves. But I'm downstairs with them because my husband actually has like meetings, whereas I don't have meetings like that. That is not where that goes, right? That goes there. Okay. That's kind of what we've developed as our routine. And then he'll come down and help out with the kids like as I need it. But because he is in meetings all day, most of the time, he can't really have the children underfoot. And that's the thing about working from home. That I don't think anybody's like really talking like just the children. And people get so upset. Your kids. Your kids. I'm like, what do you want me to do with them? Where do you want me to put them? Where would you like me to put them? Please tell me. And is there a daycare that you guys are paying for? Is there a daycare that's open when the pandemic that you guys are paying for? I'm just confused. I just don't feel comfortable. My motherly instinct tells me to keep my kids home. So you know what they do? They stay home. They stay home with me. They stay home with me all the time. And they love it. Actually, I don't know if they love it. I should probably take a survey if they love it or not. I can't imagine what they must be going through. I've noticed the change in my oldest specifically. The difference between having daycare and not having daycare. She is totally different than she was this time last year. Totally different. Not being in daycare for a year has honestly made for things to be a little bit different for her. She's a little bit more wary of strangers. It's almost like she's like, who are these people that aren't my family? Because the only people I know are my family. The only children she sees are her sister and my nephew cousin. And I say it like that because that's what he is to me, my nephew cousin. He is my cousin's child, but my cousin and I were raised like siblings. So I consider him my nephew. So he's my nephew cousin. But those are the two kids. Those are the two children she sees. That's her mini daycare. And that's it. But this time. But look, I finished this little corner. I finished this corner. Oh my gosh. I usually do way more than this. So this is, I feel really like I've done nothing. It's been fun. I'm gonna go though. Enjoy your day. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed these stories. And this is my very first video, so hopefully I'll get this like working while talking thing down, and I'll actually be able to do more than just this little corner. But thank you for being here with me.